What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be ranking all 9 Galactic Legends from worst to best. Now, for these rankings, I have a couple different criteria, but before I go into that, I do want to say happy Easter Sunday to everybody. I am currently recording this Saturday night, and I'm going to be dropping this video while I'm traveling back home from vacation. I am excited to get back home and get back to a microphone that doesn't sound like it's from the 1980s. Just better sound quality overall, but I do wish everybody a happy Easter Sunday and hope you guys have a good time. But back to the video, what we're looking for with this video is a couple different criteria. Number one, the characters that we're using to get these Galactic Legends. Are those characters viable? Are those characters also usable with the Galactic Legend we use to unlock them? And then number two, what can we get out of the Galactic Legend? Is the Galactic Legend going to be a game changer? Is it going to be usable in a wide variety of game modes? Bonus points if it's able to be used for something like an assault battle, or if there is an event that is tuned specifically for that character. So we're going to kind of break those down, use those criteria for this for these Galactic Legends, and we're going to start off with what I consider to be the worst one, and unfortunately, that is Sith Eternal Emperor, or C for short. So let's start by talking about his requirements, and this is the best part of C in that the requirements are actually pretty good. A lot of these requirements you're going to get early as a new player or someone you're going to be farming up because they're viable for different modes. So down here at the bottom we have General Veers and Colonel Stark, which are 2 Imperial Trooper characters, fantastic dark side starting team for new players. And then also Emperor Palpatine and Grand Admiral Thrawn are both legendary characters that you can unlock with your really good starting light side team with Phoenix Squadron. So you have that going for him already with his farm ability there. Also, Thrawn and Grand Moff Tarkin are both pilots for Empire capital ships, both of which are pretty good. Chimera is very good for countering some of your so-called Galactic Legend capital ships as well. Jedi Anakin's great. Imperial TIE Bomber and Sith Marauder are both used for different fleets. TIE Bomber being used for Executor, Sith Marauder being used as a pilot for a ship under the Leviathan fleet. Then you get to a couple of questionable ones. Count Dooku, Darth Maul, Darth Sidious, Director Krennic. Yeah, those are all not very good characters. Admiral Piet is the pilot for the Executor capital ship. That's another Galactic Legend type capital ship, but also you get some overlap there with building him up for the Executor ship. Royal Guard, unfortunately, has pretty much lost his usefulness with the lift to Lord Vader with his 501st or clones. So yeah, Royal Guard really just kind of fell off a cliff here. You're not going to use him anymore. And Darth Vader does have some nice synergy with Sith Eternal Emperor as well. Now, in terms of viability, unfortunately, C is a absolutely terrible defensive team in any game mode. For Territory Wars or Grand Arena, he is easily defeated on defense. He's pretty solid on offense, and if you want to pair him up with Darth Bane, you can pretty much crush any Galactic Legend. Unfortunately, Darth Bane, who was supposed to be a lifter for C, ended up being better than C, and it got to the point where you're actually using C to lift Darth Bane to ensure you can beat some Galactic Legends. So pretty good on offense when paired up with the right characters, i.e. Bane, but outside of that, there's not a lot going on for you. There is one assault battle you can use him for with Places of Power where you use First Order or Sith characters, and the First Order team is just way more viable. Supreme Lord Kylo Ren's way higher up on these rankings as it is. Yeah, you're not getting a lot out of Sith Eternal Emperor. Just putrid, absolutely putrid on defense, and solid on offense, but not enough to save him from being at the bottom of the rankings. So next up on the list, we're going to have Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka is a strong character for game modes, but the farmability of this team right now is rough. Your early to mid-game players have no chance of getting this character at all right now. It's pretty expensive upgrades as well. You need Fulcrum Ahsoka, you need Snips Ahsoka, and you need, where is it? No, I'm sorry, you don't need, no, you do need Snips. You need Snips at Relic 9, you need Commander Ahsoka at Relic 9, and you need Fulcrum Ahsoka at Relic 9. This is probably the most expensive of the Galactic Legends we have now. Pretty close between her and Lord Vader. But then, as to who you're using on this team with her, you do have some synergy here. General Syndulla and Huyang make up part of the Spectre team. You have Padawan Sabine Wren as well. So 3 out of the other 4 characters you're going to use on the team with Ahsoka Tano are here in her farmability. So you do have some nice overlap there. Plo Koon is kind of a questionable one, like we get why he's there. Barriss Offee to Relic 5, that's not too bad. You've probably got her built up for a Star Killer team at this point in time anyways. Then you get to things like Death Trooper Peridia, you have the Night Trooper, both requiring Relic 7, Asajj Ventress requiring Relic 5, like, yeah, that's not even the best Night Sister team anymore. So there are some characters here that you're really going to have to build up, and they do have some viability here or there, but things like Ezra Bridger is probably the worst of the Phoenix characters, and yeah, this is just an expensive character to build up, and the worst part is that it's great on offense and defense, very good on defense, especially with the Exile Ezra, Galactic, or the Conquest Lifter with this team, but there's nothing really you're using this team for, unfortunately. There's no events that are built around this team. Some of these characters you do use for assault battles, like Death Trooper Peridia and Night Trooper and Captain Enoch you're using for the Assault on Peridia assault battle, but then that's really about it. You have some Night Sister stuff with Asajj Ventress, but this is a very expensive character to build up, and besides the assault battle there with your Peridia Night Trooper characters, there's really nothing here, and this is kind of a letdown because the last several Galactic Legends we've gotten have had specific events tied to them. Some being one being very lucrative, one being not so good, but there's something that kind of incentivizes players to build up Ahsoka or build up that Galactic Legend. And unfortunately, we just don't have that with Ahsoka. Very expensive to get. Unless you're an endgame player, don't even think about trying to get this character. It's just way too expensive, and it's out of your league. So moving on from here, this is where it gets tough. So I'm kind of thinking about where to put Lord Vader, and Lord Vader right now, we know that he is going to be much better here in the near future. The problem is that everybody that you're using to farm him up, nobody on here is used with Lord Vader. This was really shocking. Nobody on this team is being used with Lord Vader. Grand Moff Tarkin maybe because of the Empire synergy, but that was the only Empire character on here that really had anything. Everybody else has their own teams. Bad Batch was pretty good back in the day. 501st is pretty good. You have General Skywalker and Echo 501st. You get a pretty solid team there, as well as ARC Trooper. Newt Gunray is a questionable Separatist character. The Y-Wing is great with Negotiator Fleet. Zam Wessel is a decent bounty hunter. Count Dooku, another useless, not necessarily useless, but not so good Separatist character. So you do have some viability here with the Bad Batch team with some 501st characters. Tusken Raider just randomly throwing on these requirements, and yeah, unless you're in Grand Arena, that Tusken team's not very good. Embo is another bounty hunter that's okay, but you could probably get him in with a Hutt cartel with Jabba the Hutt team and use as a territory war team with his Omicron. But really, there's nobody on this team you're using with Lord Vader, and it's hard to say right now just how good he's going to be. We're seeing the idea with the kits for CX2 and Apo. This is going to be a very deadly team on offense and on defense, to the point where we're going to have to use a Galactic Legend to defeat them, and they do not want specific bounty hunters, aka Fennec Shan, to counter him. So this one, I think right now I've got at 7, but I have a feeling here in the next few months, once we get the Darkside Clone Troopers up and running with him, we may see him shoot up the rankings and surpass at least one other Galactic Legend on this. So we will definitely have to revisit this right now, but he's pretty much the most expensive Galactic Legend to get. None of the characters you use to get him are used with Lord Vader, but they do have their own solid teams they're using them for as well. And I'm sure we're going to see him be very viable. So I don't think he's going to be at number 7 in the rankings for long. I see him being up towards middle to upper list of the rankings here in the near future. Once we get the Dark Side clones, we will definitely have to revisit this one again here in a few months once we get an idea of what we're looking at for Lord Vader. So next up on our list is going to be Rey. It's going to be pretty close between her and the other character that's next on the list. So good news, if you're farming up the requirements for Rey, quite a few of them are going to be used or can be used with a Rey team in different variations. There is the Rey team with like Ben Solo, and you bring in some Resistance characters. There's also a Finn team if you use inside of Grand Arena or as inside of territory battles. They're pretty decent in territory wars as well. So there is some very nice viability with the characters you're building up here. Jedi Training Rey, Finn, Resistance Trooper, Rey Scavenger, Resistance Pilot, Poe Dameron, all Resistance characters. You have to go all the way down here to Veteran Smuggler Chewbacca to get to a character you're really not using in a Resistance team somewhere. I mean, you have Resistance Pilot, but that's a pilot for a Resistance ship. Veteran Smuggler Chewbacca really just kind of exists on his own, and Raddus being the capital ship of the Resistance fleet. So very accessible characters that you're going to be using with Rey or use on another solid Resistance team. Pretty good there. The issue now comes into play where she's very good on defense, but she's got like no real offensive capability. You're not really using her on offense. Now that could be because she's so good on defense, but there's a real lack in power for her for offense. She has her saber throw ability, but that's kind of a gimmick because you can only use that a set number of times each match. You're really saving her for defense. There's really no offensive firepower with this team, which is unfortunate. And at least we got the boost with Ezra Exile to make her more of a nightmare on defense, but again, really nothing there. And there's no events that you're using her for either. There's nothing in Rise of the Empire. There's no, I mean, you do have the Omicron on Finn for his territory battle team, but do you really count that if you have to use an Omicron on that lead to make it viable? Yeah, there's really nothing you're using her for outside of just placing her on defense, and that is unfortunate. And that is why I think Jedi Master Kenobi is just a better ranking than her, a better option than what you're getting with her. So number one, General Kenobi and Negotiator, pilot for the capital ship. You're also going to use General Kenobi inside the Jedi Master Kenobi team. Mace Windu, another capital ship for Galactic Republic. Aayla Secura, we're going to see what goes on here with Aayla Secura and using her with possibly a Jedi Vanguard team. Bo-Katan Kryze is a light side Mandalorian, so it helps kind of fill out that Bo-Katan Mandalore team down the road. Qui-Gon Jinn, fantastic Omicron lead for Grand Arena. Magna Guard, you're using with your General Grievous team. Clone Sergeant Phase 1's kind of like the Black Cat here, the Black Sheep. What's the saying? Am I saying it's Black Sheep? No. Black Sheep? Yes, Black Sheep of the family here where he just kind of exists. You're not really using him. Wat Tambor, you can pair up with Sith Eternal Emperor, General Grievous. You're using him as a lead for a Separatist droid team. Cad Bane works pretty well with Hutt Cartel. Cody, kind of another Black Sheep here. Jango Fett, you're using him with Separatists or Bounty Hunters. Shaak Ti's got her uses in different places. She's also a Jedi Vanguard. And then Grandmaster Yoda, legendary Jedi character. You're gonna have uses for a lot of the characters on here. A couple of ones you're not really going to use are Cody and Clone Sergeant Phase 1, but for 16 requirements, 14 of 16 being useful, that's pretty good. That's very viable, and also has some pretty good use inside of Rise of the Empire, especially when you have those light side battles like for Zepho on the bonus planet. You've got some missions there. We're using Jedi Master Kenobi with Commander Ahsoka and some different Galactic Republic Jedi. He is a Jedi character, so there are some Jedi-specific missions you can use him with as well. You pair him up with Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. It works pretty well. You also got Jedi Master Luke for those missions too, but you've got some viability there. You can also try to use him inside the Ground War Assault battle, though I think Jedi Master Luke is just a better option for that, especially with Jedi Knight Luke and his lead. Master Luke just kind of pairs better there, but he is viable there if you need to work on it. And in terms of offense and defense, solid defense character, starting to lose a little bit of viability there. Offense is still very good, though it is concerning to note a lot of teams these days have instant defeat immunity, which is kind of pushing Commander Ahsoka Tano's viability down a little bit. I was talking about that in my ranking for Conquest characters the other day, is that with all the instant defeat immunity we're seeing these days, team is not as great on offense as it used to be. Still good, but not as good. And now on defense, we're getting teams that can beat it on defense. The Supreme Leader Kylo Ren with the Darkseid Rey touch-up really beats up Kenobi now on defense. Inquisitors can handle Kenobi on defense as well, but it doesn't mean that this team's not good on defense. So it's still got viability for both offense and defense. You're going to be great with that. And that is who I've got as my number 5. Now, moving into the top 4, we've got Supreme Lord Kylo Ren, Jedi Master Luke, Leia Organa, and Jabba the Hutt left. So, at number 4, I'm going to put Jedi Master Luke. Now, Jedi Master Luke has some solid overlap here. Jedi Training Rey, we're using that for Rey. C-3PO, fantastic in Rebel teams with Commander Luke. Mon Mothma's got her Rebel fighter team. 3PO and Chewie, you pair up with C-3PO and that CLS team. Old Ben has really nice usefulness inside of a Galactic Legend Leia Organa team. Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, you're pairing up with Jedi Master Luke all the time. R2-D2, Han Solo, Chewbacca, Rebel Y-Wing. All these requirements here at in this middle tier, all fantastic characters. Then you get down to level 3, Princess Leia, not really used. Hermit Yoda, you can use very easily with a Jedi Master Luke team. Wedge and Biggs are both pilots for a Rebel fleet, but those Rebel ships aren't used as much. And Lando Calrissian, kind of... Yeah, I'd say Lando and Leia are like the worst off of the characters here. You're not really using them a lot. Lando is a Rebel fighter, so you can get some synergy with Mon Mothma, but there's better options with her. And Leia just, yeah, Leia doesn't really have much going for her. I believe she's got an Omicron, or no, she doesn't have an Omicron, but you could try using her on certain Rebel teams, but she really doesn't have much usefulness. But there is some nice overlap here and some nice viability, not just for Jedi Master Luke, but for wider teams too, like we mentioned, with CLS, with C-3PO and 3PO. Yeah, there's really good characters you're farming up here for the most part. So you're going to get some viability out of 14 out of 16 characters here. You're going to get something out of them. The only ones being Lando and Leia, not really using them for much. Though I guess you use Leia to get R2-D2, or no, sorry. Use Leia to get Commander Luke Skywalker. So there is something there for that, but Lando just is kind of there. Nothing really for Lando, so maybe 15 out of 16. Now, in terms of viability for the game, this is where we start to really see the Galactic Legends be useful in events. So, Jedi Master Luke, very good lead for a lot of like Rise of the Empire territory battles. I like to pair him up with Jedi Knight Cal Kestis a lot to just kind of cruise through some of those combat missions if needed. He's very good on offense. He is probably the easiest way to beat any defensive Supreme Leader Kylo Ren and Darkseid Rey team that you find on defense. Still demolishes them even with the buff that Rey gives this team on defense in Grand Arena. Not very good on defense. Inquisitors tear apart this team, but you're also going to use this for the Ground War team or Ground War Assault Battle. We're using to farm up Separatist shards, which is kind of necessary now because Geonosian Spy just got moved to Fleet Arena, and that's not a really reliable way to farm up a character. So now you got to hope that you can get Ground War shards as well for Geonosian Spy. So he does help with that, and also helps you kind of get those relic farm materials out of the way. Use this with the Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker lead, and you got some pretty solid viability there with this team for the Ground War Assault Battle. But beyond that, very good inside of Rise of the Empire as well. The durability of the team, the protection, regeneration, the fast movements, the turn meter manipulation, all very good. I really like him. Very solid PvE character, very good on offense for PvP modes, though definitely you want to pass on using him for defense. So now we get to number 3, and this is where things get tough. And next up's got to be Supreme Lord Kylo Ren. Now, the reason why... No. I will explain very easily why Leia and Jabba are 2 and 1. So let's talk about what we're using. Number 1, great requirements that you're using to get him. Kylo Ren Unmasked, you use all the time. First Order Stormtrooper, First Order Officer, you can use them all with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren, not as much. Captain Phasma, not as much. But you have the viability with another First Order team that you can use inside of Territory Wars with an Omicron. First Order Executioner is pretty good on a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren team as well. Then you got Veteran Smuggler Han Solo, like you had Chewbacca for Rey. Now you have Veteran Smuggler Han Solo for Supreme Leader. Not as good. Sith Trooper, really good with the Kylo Ren team. First Order Special Forces TIE Pilot is a pilot for the First Order fleet. General Hux is the pilot of the capital ship. First Order TIE Pilot, surprise, surprise, pilot for the First Order fleet. Then you got Finalizer, which is the capital ship, and Emperor Palpatine again, who you're using as an overlap for Sith Eternal Emperor, but Palpatine has his usefulness on the Starkiller team. So most of the characters on here, you've got something going for them. Whether it's with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, whether it's with the additional First Order team with that Captain Phasma lead for other game modes, whether it's for the capital ship and that fleet. In fact, several of these other characters are also used as pilots for that First Order capital ship. So you're double dipping with a lot of the viability. Fantastic. Love it. Absolutely great. One of the characters with like the most usefulness on the whole roster. Pilots, First Order, 2 different First Order teams. Only blemish on here is the veteran smuggler Han Solo. Now we get to the really fun part. Hands down, I'd say probably the best Galactic Legend team on offense right now, thanks to Darkside Vision Rey. She can basically turn this into a Darth Bane situation where you can use both of them on their own on offense and beat other Galactic Legends. I've done it with Jabba and with Leia. You can easily beat a Rey team with Ezra on defense, which is probably the best Galactic Legend defensive team. Yeah, there's not much this team doesn't beat on offense. And in terms of defense, it's solid. It requires some Galactic Legend powers to really beat it. And that's where you have to use like Jedi Master Luke to beat them on offense, or on defense. So at that point, you're talking a very strong defensive team, incredible offensive team that just blew my mind. As soon as I started using them, I was like, holy crap, like this team is incredible now thanks to Rey. So Rey really brought this team up in terms of rankings. If we didn't have Rey, I would say this is probably down below Jedi Master Kenobi. Yeah, this just having Rey and that lifter made this team so much better. And you're even without the Grand Arena Omicrons on her, you're still going to use them inside of Rise of the Empire territory battles. I've used them all the time on the dark side missions. I've used them inside of Territory War on offense. Just a very, very good team. This is probably my favorite team to use on offense, just because of how ridiculously good it is. And watching Kylo hit for like 500,000 damage on his attacks once he goes to his ultimate, it's great. I love it. I love this team. I absolutely love using them on offense. Now, you do have the Places of Power Assault Battle that you use for First Order. I mentioned that earlier with C. Kylo Ren's just a better investment overall. Easier, much more viability with his farms. Not as easy to get as a new player, but, you know, with the Lightspeed bundles and everything, you can get him knocked out in no time at all. Highly recommend you guys farm him up if you haven't yet. So number 2 is going to be Leia Organa. And let's start by talking about, let's just go down the list. So Captain Rex, you're going to use with her, also can use with the Phoenix Squad. Nisa and Wicket are both your Ewoks. Nisa's a nice lifter for Ewoks, but Ewoks are still kind of a crappy team. Lando, we got some overlap there again with Lando. Admiral Akbar has the pilot as the Home 1 capital ship, but that Rebel fleet's not that good because Profunity's pretty much taken everybody from it. Scout Trooper, pretty good. Imperial Remnant, Imperial Trooper, you got some viability there. R2-D2 is her right-hand droid for the team. R2-D2 with its number crunch Zeta just makes the Rebel team with Leia Organa lead just so good. Captain Han Solo, you've got Captain Han and Rebel Officer Leia here. Both of these, not that great if you are building up teams for the light side Hoth battle as a newer player. You're going to have these characters anyways, so you're going to get some viability out of them there if you're using that. Chief Chirpa, the lead for your Ewok team. Captain Drogon, the third person that fits into the Leia Organa team. If you're using a 3v3 Leia team, it's usually her, R2, and Drogon. Drogon has a GAC Omicron as well. Commander Luke, Commander Luke, great. 3PO and Chewie also ties in nicely with Commander Luke. Bausch Leia, absolute must-have on the Jabba the Hutt team. Also some overlap there with farming Jabba. And then just Lobot. We had to get just that one character in that's just useless. And there it is with Lobot. So pretty much every character on here's got viability somewhere. Blemish being Lando and Lobot and Ewoks to a lesser degree. But most characters on here either you're going to use with her or have some viability with some team out there that makes that team really, really good in one way or another. Now, in terms of how viable she is. Oh boy, she is viable. Which kind of hurts Ahsoka not being as viable a little bit more, because Leia, you can auto Rise of the Empire territory battles with Ahsoka. You can also do that with Leia. But what really sets Leia apart here is the Endor mission that you get usually once a month. Now, the rewards on this thing are not that great. For some reason, at tier 3, you get Ewok shards, even though you're required to have the 7-star Ewoks just to get to this tier. I don't get it. Yeah, it makes no sense. The rewards on the Ewok shards don't make sense, but you get at least 1 Omicron each time, which is nice. Sometimes you get lucky. You get 2, maybe you get 3. I've never seen it, but I know it happens. Yeah, so you get that Endor event with her at least, and you had some viability with her with the Endor raid as well, but we don't really want to count that. But this team is very good on defense, very good on offense, is an easy counter to Galactic Legends Ahsoka Tano. If you see that team on defense, you just use the log move, boost Captain Drogon, and then he just deletes Ezra turn 1, and that's it. After that, it's pretty much gravy. This team, very good, both modes, both offense and defense, inside of Grand Arena, inside of Territory Wars, great inside of your territory battles as well, and has that Endor event going as well. Yeah, that's why she's up here. And finally, we have Jabba the Hutt, probably the best starting Galactic Legend for any new player. You're going to get a lot of return out of him. Number 1, some very good overlap here in terms of characters. Kirstan is a must on the team, as well as Bausch Leia right down here, Skiffguard Lando. 3 characters you're going to very easily use, are mainstays on the Jabba the Hutt team. Now you get some other characters, Mob Enforcer, which we have a Datacron for right now, but outside of it, you're not really using Mob Enforcer. Boba Fett is a really good 5th on the... I am watching a cat zoom back and forth in front of me. I hope you guys don't hear that on the mic. But yeah, Boba Fett's great 5th on the Jabba team. Fennec use quite often as well in different teams. Aura, Singh, a lot of bounty hunters here with this. Then you just have Jawa, then you have Aurora with his Tusken stuff, Tusken nonsense. Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker again, so you're getting some really good overlap between Jedi Master Luke, Leia Organa, and Jabba the Hutt. 3 Galactic Legends that are very good and also have really good overlap with their viability and who you're using to farm them up. Outrider being a mainstay on the Profundity fleet, one of the best one of the best Galactic Legend fleets in the game. Greedo's pretty good too. Gamorrean Guard, not as great, but he is there if you need him for a Hutt Cartel team. So overall, very good requirements here for Jabba. And then you get to him, and he is a mainstay on defense for any game mode. Territory War, Grand Arena. He's also used in every phase of the middle sector of Rise of the Empire territory battles. There's a combat mission that always requires Jabba. And really, you just need Jabba, and you need some other fillers in with him, and you should be able to beat those missions pretty easily. So yeah, very good for filling in on those combat missions as necessary, but the real thing, the real prize with Jabba is the Smuggler's Run 2 event, and this gives some absolute insane rewards for slicing mods. Mods are very important in this game, and the rewards you get from this are incredible. I kind of wish Leia Organa's event was this rewarding, but Jabba's event is so rewarding. This is just hands down the most viable Galactic Legend, just what you're going to get the most return on your investment for, just for the Smuggler's Run. You're going to get a lot of crystals worth of materials from this event every single month. So yeah, as a new player, this should be your number 1 Galactic Legend. Very easy to get, and you can easily start getting on the path to 2 other Galactic Legends with Jabba as well. Going to be great to gain a head start inside of your Rise of the Empire territory battles as well, because of a specific combat mission. And yeah, this is one that I'd say is easily the best of the Galactic Legends. So I want to hear from you guys down below. Do you guys agree with these rankings? What do you guys think? Do you agree, disagree? Again, if you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys next time.